Hello, I'm Dr. Wendy Rowley. This is the new series, or at this point, the series, the divine, the light workers and the new divine feminine energy. And it's kind of giving a synopsis of the changes, things that are improved or new, and various things of that nature. Okay, so this one is titled "The Heart Field of the New Way to Heal the Heart Field of the Karmic Akash." Now, just a little reminder, the lower, denser level, the spirit body level of the Karmic Akash is sort of off, that and many other energies, but that's a simple way to say it. And the heart field of the Karmic Akash is there, but the bottom is gone. And the high heart field is there with new connections in divine feminine, all these getting different connections. And the high heart bridges up to the golden Akash on the human consciousness grid. And a lot of the healing is moving to the group level and new tools, new setups, and you can ask for upgrades to the new energy in the new divine feminine in the healing paradigm that you are in with intention and things of that nature, which was a new idea. What a great idea. So if you're already doing Reiki, go ahead and ask the Reiki people for the new upgrades needed in the new energy. And then she also clarified that there were some new tools in the new energy and why they were different in the last video. So I'm going to get out of the way. You're busy people. We keep these short and sweet. And please like and subscribe. And there'll be another type of an alignment. Alignments are to sort of send the vibrational sound to particular pathways of energy that sort of sends like a restaurant order that to your soul that I would like this off the menu, please. May I have your soul's forces and more light into this new pathway or this pathway that I am intending. And there's also something called alignment activation intentions, which is, she said, is like a pre-level before that level where you get a little stronger vibration to the soul that, yeah, I want that, please. And now, please, in divine intelligence and grace for the greater good of all. Okay, here we go. Oh, good day to you, dearest beings of light. It's Eliane of Cosmic Service, Palladian Mother of Sound. Peace be with you, peace be with you, and peace be with you. So, in the new energy, how do you heal the heart field of the Karmic Akash, the one that's still here? We said that the heart field is mostly divine feminine energy. And we've said that the great shift has a big divine feminine energy upgrade for both men and women. And that the man's upgrade is through the divine feminine, the heart field that both men and women have, but it goes up to the golden Akash on the human consciousness grid. But for women that have the extra energy of the divine feminine going up to the creational level, all the way to the creative source in the field, which is part of the design, they have theirs now no longer going through the interim soul or interim Christ grid, but it's looping over and through the Christ mastery grid, through a veil there that's been opened and connected out to the greater field of the soul cell and the sound cell of soul groups in divine intelligence. Meaning it's like getting a internet to divine intelligence of the creator. And part of the reason for this is that real-time creation is beginning to unfold on the earth. As you develop a unity field consciousness, there's a need to monitor that because it's a group energy. And the same way in the past, the divine intelligence of the creator out in the field read souls individually and soul groups at the lower karmic Akash, it now is going to read you and how your progress is in alignment to the greater good of all and Supreme Being's divine intelligence. And some people say, well, that's like a divine blueprint, or it's a overarching blueprint for a planetary system. It's a guidebook. As this one said, if I wrote a book, the first one would be called, Where's the Guidebook for the Newly Evolving? Then she said, after more healing, the book would be named Stumbling Toward the Light, because the healing journey of working through your Akash is a tricky thing. It's up and down and up and down, and I'm feeling good and I'm not feeling good. La 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 la. And eventually you break through bubbles and you get better and better. Okay, so the new way to heal between the heart field of the karmic Akash and the old karmic Akash is to get an upgrade in the divine feminine of the heart field. And you can intend that, as we said, in the healing paradigm that you work in. But if you're not someone who's a healer, but you feel that you are a light worker, that you work at a very high level, you can also ask the Creator for that. And that's what we're going to do today. This is the first time in this one's work that we are putting an activation out on YouTube for the greater good of all through divine intelligence and grace. And this activation is in the divine feminine of the heart field, in the new divine feminine energy, going up to the golden Akash to be able to heal in the heart field in the new divine feminine energy. It's a simple thing. And it's just a simple doorway being opened. So should you like this for your individual personal healing or for your evolutionary journey as a soul in a body, going through the higher self, which is your soul's the higher self is kind of like a 12 interdimensional DNA Earth experience catalog, recording everything that you do, whether it's created out of light for the greater good of all, or whether it maybe didn't quite get there. And it records it into what was the lower Akash that's now gone, and into the heart field Akash, in the new divine feminine change of the great shift. So that's in place, it's there, it's in people. Some people are already working at that level. Some people will get it in 5 lifetimes, some people 5 generations, and everyone in 500 years will have all of these new connections. Because the great shift is not only about what you do now, but it is setups for the future. And we talked more about that in the last video. So in order to do healing in the heart field, karmic Akash, in the new divine feminine energy, that is moving to the level of groups to heal large family complexes, tribes, and nations, where you all create as groups, is requiring an upgrade. And what happens after you have this upgrade? If you're kind of like, well, should I do that? I don't know. Will I be invaded? She said all healing paradigms have higher creational beings that work with divine intelligence and Christ healing, and to bring in that healing paradigm to help people. And I don't know much about that. I didn't see that in the Bible very much. I didn't see these things in guidebooks or spiritual books, but they are out there, and they are in spiritual books, and it is in the Bible. And it's in both the Old and the New Testament. But people interpret it differently, but it is there. And we don't mean to be a Bible beater, and we don't mean to get people who see the Bible as strictly that word means that word, even though they don't realize they're interpreting it the way they see it in their consciousness, but they think it's an absolute truth, exactly the way it's written. But all things you read are interpreted through your consciousness. So for greater understanding, what we would like to say is that if the Creator is out in the greater field and has the ability to create at a planetary level all the way down to the individual level, can you take that same level of energy and charge that is needed to do something major on the planet and step it down into an individual? Or can you take it directly into an individual? It has to be stepped down. As some people say, that is just way too much light of the soul for a person to handle in their dense spirit and physical body overlay. It would be like a massive healing crisis, and you would just pop out of your body. Not to say you'd die, but you would have a hard time being connected into your body if that much soul force came into you. You would just simply be so far up in the 7th chakra that you would find it hard to function in this world. So there's purposes and plans to stepping down divine creational energy, healing forces, Christ healing forces, and evolutionary forces from the creator, from the planetary level all the way down to a human. So this is kind of how this is done. And this is what this one does. And the idea of activations has become more well known on the web. And the idea of going to sacred sites to do juicy work is becoming more common. And you're going to see this continue to grow. There's going to be a lot of people claiming they give activations and alignments. But there's different levels of those and different levels to work at in those. So they, on some level, are speaking a truth for them. And so there is no way to clarify the ultimate way that it is done, because it goes through the different levels of the consciousness of the person bringing it in. It goes through different levels of the creational level, goes through different levels of the golden Akash, and it goes through different levels out in the field to Supreme Being's divine intelligence. Because would not the Creator, if the Creator is based in love, have something for everyone? Therefore, if you're a light worker or a healer, there's no need to ever criticize another light worker or healer, or energy worker, or body worker, or doctor, or anyone bringing in anything that they say is coming through them. Because it is all of the divine of the Creator at various levels, so that various people of various levels of consciousness, energy, amount of incarnations they've had in bodies, socialization they've had in that particular lifetime that flavors them and their consciousness, and so many, many, many factors, that there'd be something for everyone. Because there is no special chosen group in the Creator's eyes. Everyone is a little child of the Creator. And that's one way we would like to explain this. Also, if you do an activation and you don't like it, you can ask for it to be done. But that's also like saying to your soul, I changed my mind, I don't want you here. And maybe your soul has higher reasons for opening up and coming into that pathway. So that's another fail-safe. If it's not something meant for you in this particular incarnation or in this particular life path, it might be something that your soul takes into its higher self's memory bank to activate in you later down the road in your soul's journey, in your human incarnations through your higher self. So there is no waste, there is no didn't get it, there is no not worthy, there is no I'm not with the right group. It's all just intention, a type of surrender of faith and trust, and a desire to move on to greater benevolence, connection, healing, and evolution in alignment with the creative source. So we just thought we would say that. Because there are some saying, well, this is it. This is the one you need. And we're saying, maybe, maybe not. So you'll never hear out of this one that this is it. She just says, this is what's coming through me. And she also says, this is what I know today, tomorrow might be different. And she hasn't said that as much lately because things are changing so fast and so much and so many, including her. And that's the way it is. So we're going to give this activation and sound, and she's going to write up that it is an actual activation. And the difference between an alignment attunes you to that particular pathway. An alignment intention opens you up to the next level of almost there. And the activation simply opens the doorway. That's the difference between an activation and alignment. There are sounds for balancing the energy field. There are toning sounds that come through for giving integration of energies into the spirit body. And there are sounds of toning that come forward for alignments to soul groups. And those are new and coming. And that's never been here before. And we're going to do some of that in the last video. Okay, So there'll be nothing after this so that you can find this easily at the end of every tape in this series. You're welcome to record it. You're welcome to share it. But we ask that you name the source and this one's work so that she may have a farther call out to the work that's coming through, to the women's great global healing parties using the tones of the heart and the juicy work that's done there, and that she may get the word out of this work because it is timely and it'll appeal to many women because many women are looking for the women's source. It is a strong call in the high heart field of women. And she's been hearing it from women, and she's been hearing it from women in some classes, that this feels different than what I did with the men, and I feel attracted to this. And that's part of the Creator's divine intelligence at the soul level, kind of giving you what we call the friction of the soul to sort of say, I need to look for something. There's something in me that says I need to just search for something. There's something that I'm looking for. I don't know what it is, but I need to put up my radar. And that's what that's about. There's an article on the Wonder of Human Design website. She has a wisdom channeling section where there's a monthly channel that comes in. And there's some series that are coming through there. And there are a couple articles we've kept up there. We did redo the Heaven. For those of you who have been following this work, there's one called Heaven. And it came in kind of in a convoluted way that she understood, but not a lot of people. But we told her to put it up. And now the new one is up and the old one is down, because we wanted people to have the understanding of this concept, that the Creator in its design, in your spiritual anatomy, has created places where benevolence floods in so you know you're on the right path. And there's also one called The Friction of the Soul. Okay, just so you know, there's another resource besides YouTube if you're new to this work. Here we go. We won't be back. Now in this one, it's not all beautiful melodic sounds. The beautiful melodic sounds are the souls coming into fibers of your spiritual interim body anatomy, interim spirit body. It's the change body. It's the one that gets all the healing, the upgrades, evolves, and then sends codes to the spirit body, that is the one you have overlaying your physical body, to create change. New organs, new spiritual organs, new abilities, la la la. So this goes to the interim spirit body, and it is in sound, and it is melodic, filling in the soul's forces there. It's like an entrainment. It's like a language of the soul in sound, because what did we say the women were connected to through the Christ grid? A sound cell of soul groups. And it is the primary language of the soul, sound. And the secondary language of the soul is pictures and color and frequencies and resonance and harmonics. So even though you don't know what's going on in the sound, the soul does. Then when there's an activation, the sounds change. They start to sound like some people said it sounds like an animal, some people says it sounds like a whale, some people says it sounds like a little engine going brr, 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 and that's exactly what it is. It's called your soul forces engine. And it is connected to the souls out in the greater field, your soul. And it is a type of a system within the soul through the interim spirit body that causes things to change and open. And that's what we call it, the soul forces engine of change. And there's one out in the greater field that the Creator has for soul groups and soul evolution there too. Some people refer to that as the music of the spheres. We just thought we'd clarify that for people who might not know this. So we have many people that come here, don't know anything about it, know some things, are just loving it all, and they read everything they can get on the web. And those who are like, I just want the work, I don't care about the rest. I don't care about the anatomy, I don't care about the techie part, I don't care about the spiritual evolution, I just want the upgrades. Okay, so that's what we're sharing. So you're going to hear this brr, brr, brr sound, and this one has a tendency to turn sideways because her head sometimes goes back and she figures, why look up the nostrils of my nose? That's not a very nice picture. And some people don't close their eyes. You're welcome to close your eyes, though, and we suggest you do, and get inside and feel, because it's a different experience. And if you remain outward, in the outward part of your nervous system, as opposed to the inward, parasympathetic, relaxing, calming, vagal nerve connection, which is flooded with soul and higher self energies. That's a different immune system. Different nervous system. And Edgar Cayce talked about that, if you've heard of him. An old, early 19th century prophet, 20th century prophet, 20th century, we're in the 21st century, 20th century prophet of America. And has come through other European adepts who have talked about it. Okay, enough talking, here we go. And there also, in this one for the first time, be different vowel sounds that you're going to hear. And that's just a more complex language of the soul.